everyone, and welcome to the Kid Art Lit Crack the Code to Book-Based Process Art Workshop presented by Julia Lindstedt and Megan Lingo of Kid Art Lit and based on Swatch, The Girl Who Loved Color by Julia Denos. Please, before we begin, go ahead and close all of your tabs on your computer so that you can get the most out of this experience. It's also a good time to silence your phone and close any of your Facebooks or email or Instagram that might be open so that your focus can stay right here on all this fabulous content that we have for you today. All right, let's get started. Also, we have a bonus at the end, so be sure to stick around. Before we dive into everything, we are dying to know, on a scale of 1 to 10, 10 being totally comfortable and 1 being completely uncomfortable, how comfortable do you feel about book-based process art? Let us know in the chat box where you land from that scale of 1 to 10. Go ahead and enter it now. All right, we have a lot of people who are labeling 7s and 6s, 10s. We got a couple 10s, 1s, 2s. Okay, we have a wide variety. Okay, great. Thanks for doing that. And thank you for being here with us today. To begin, we want to share a little about our background and why we started Kid Art Lit. So again, my name is Julia Lindstedt, and I am an arts educator, and along with Megan Lingo, who is an educator and literacy specialist, we have created Kid Art Lit, a subscription box that delivers open-ended art kits and story times right to your door every month for children ages 3 to 7 years. We are also the creators of the @KidArtLit Instagram accounts and the weekly themed challenges that celebrate children's art and books. We believe art and books are great on their own, but that they are even better together. And we're going to share why we think so with you today. So here's what we will be talking about today. 1, how to analyze books to inspire open-ended art experiences that promote connection, creativity, and curiosity. 2, how to set up an art experience that opens children's imaginations in ways they can't resist and turns craft time into connection time without the overwhelm. 3, plus a live demo of a book-based art process that will help you feel comfortable, confident, and encouraged to set up open-ended art experiences for your children too. We want to empower you to feel confident when it comes to creating story and art times with your children. Because making art and story time a priority hasn't always been easy for us. And we really want it to be easier for you. Despite that Megan and I both have education backgrounds in literacy and creative development, we were having a hard time figuring out how to give quality story time and open-ended art time to our own children so that they could develop their creativity and love of reading. Yes, we read to our children, and yes, we have art and creative time with our children too. But is it always calm, connected, or a positive experience? No. No, it's not. And in fact, it's often difficult, hectic, frazzled, exhausting. It feels more like trying to wrangle monkeys in a banana store. So we started talking about art and story time and how our hectic lives just didn't seem conducive to including quality reading and creative time in between all of the laundry, meal prep, and work obligations that filled our daily, weekly, and monthly routines. It felt overwhelming. We heard the same feedback from our friends and colleagues too. Making time for art and reading at home was it was too hard, too messy, and required too much time to prep, set up, and clean. We thought about giving up, because that was an option, right? But when we read the research about art and reading with kids, we knew we couldn't give up. because it's part of our main values. And here's what we have found. As schools continue to remove art programs from their curriculum, children are losing out on the foundation skills that early childhood art activities develop. With the push of more after-school activities, more time away from home, families are losing the quality connecting time of reading with their children, making it harder and harder to read for pleasure and raise readers. According to Kyung-hee Kim, professor of education at the College of William and Mary, student creativity at the K-12 level has been in significant decline for the last few decades. And based on scores from the Torrance Test of Creative Thinking, her study reveals that children have become, are you ready for it? Here we go. Less emotionally expressive, less energetic, less talkative and verbally expressive, less humorous, less imaginative, less unconventional, less lively and passionate, less perceptive, less apt to connect seemingly irrelevant things, less synthesizing, less likely to see things from a different angle. We found that to be, well, frankly, kind of depressing. We wanted to change all of that, transform the overwhelm and slow down that process, be a positive change against those Torrance creative testing statistics, and see young children develop their creativity and love for reading. And we knew other families, educators, and caregivers, they felt the same way too. And this is why we created Kid Artlet, as a way to offer more creativity, more reading time, and more support to families, educators, and caregivers so you may continue to foster and raise creative, curious, and compassionate children. Today, we wanted to demonstrate how you can easily offer process art experiences for your children, and we will show you how using books can help. Diving into book-based process art will change your perspective about doing art with your children in a way you won't ever want to turn back. But before we go any further, tell us, what does process art mean to you? Let us know in the chat. We've got a lot of people saying things like it's the process over the product, it's about exploration, child-led, open-ended creativity, free-form thinking and thought and play. Yeah, these are all great things. It's the process over the product. Great. So here's what we know, that in process art, the means count more than the ends. This is from the MoCA, or the Museum of Contemporary Art. Or, in other words, when presenting a project to a child, it is the process that is given more focus and attention over the end product. And if you are unsure whether a project is process-based, Mary Catherine of funaday.com says, ask yourself these questions. Will I be upset if the end result doesn't look a certain way? That's a really good one, isn't it? How about this one? Do I have a preconceived notion of what the end result should look like? If you answer yes to any of those questions, you most likely don't have a process-based project. Process art puts the thinking and idea generating back to the child. Having the children make the connections and be the main drivers of the experience, instead of putting the effort of coming up with the ideas in the hands of the teacher or the parent. It is the child that is given the power and the freedom to explore within a point of curiosity. Okay, but how do we connect books to an open-ended process experience? Let's crack the code of book-based process art with children. To start, we have 5 reasons we think books are great companions to any art experience with children. And here's why. 1, books provide a source of structure for creativity to happen. It's what we like to call chaos in a fixed structure. Providing a structure, whether it be physical or mental, gives ideas a solid ground to bounce off of, which is the key to sparking anyone's creativity. And books are great for this. The illustrations in picture books or the use of language can be visually and mentally inspiring, and an experience that can be shared, enjoyed, and inspiring to a whole family or class. 3, books provide context for questions to form and curiosity to pique. And 4, books provide exposure to new ideas, new ways of thinking. 5, books make the whole world accessible at your fingertips. So how do we use a book to create a structure for an open-ended art project? We have come up with a list of questions that help us pull out the main imagery, emotions, and messages of a book. And these questions are what we ask our children to help guide them through the story too. Helping the children make connections with a book and identify the main elements are the first ingredients of sparking their imaginations. Helping everyone be inspired beyond the pages. All right, so we've created a quick reference guide with questions we like to ask when reading a story, and we've created this handout for you, a story analysis cheat sheet with a variety of questions on there that we like to explore when we are looking at a book with children. So let's take a look at it. Let's look at a few sample questions together. We ask questions like, what colors do you see? So when you're looking at the book, right when you start, you can say, what colors do you see? What kinds of shapes do you see? How do these pictures make you feel? How does this cover art make you feel? What is it doing for you and to you? And after every question, we like to ask, why? Well, why do you think there's so many circles on this page? Or why do you think they use so much pink? We like to ask why. It gives children a moment to find connections, make ambiguous ideas known, and bring the messages of the book into their own lives. And we find the more we, the grown-ups, engage in the process along with the children, the calmer and less overwhelmed we all feel. Plus, having a plan for story and art time always makes the experience smoother. And we hope that is what you will experience when engaging with your books in this way. Okay, so are you ready to check out the book we are working with today? Today we are working with the book Swatch, The Girl Who Loved Color by Julia Denos. We're going to use our story analysis questions and make some observations about the book. Again, you can download those story analysis questions on the Kid Artlet resource library or in the link in the email that you received along with this webinar. To start, we are going to look at the cover. So here it is. Here's the cover of Julia Denos' Swatch, The Girl Who Loved Color. What do you notice? Go ahead and just take a moment and think about it. And then when you have a chance, you can go ahead and share it in our chat section and let us know, what do you see? And I'm going to read to you what we see. People are saying that they see a very happy girl. It's very energetic. There's a lot of movement. There's circles. There's colors. There's all kinds of things happening on there. Yes, lots of movement. Oh, I love that. Great. Okay, now we're going to take a look at the first page. Let's do the same process again. Okay, here's the very first page of the book. So go ahead and, again, what do you notice? And you can share those observations in our chat. People are saying that they see lots of pink, that it's a very big wave, that it looks like dancing, that the color is encompassing everything, including the trees. Great. Okay, observations are key to creating book-based art projects. You can record and keep the observations made handy on your story analysis cheat sheet. Having children make observations connects them to the experience. It ignites their imaginations and makes them builders and creators within the experience, putting the thinking back into the hands of the children. It's almost time for us to walk you through how to create a multi-part process art experience. And you can do all these parts that we're going to show you, or pick and choose which ones work best for you. But before we dive into the live demo, which by the way will be a separate video that will be mailed to you shortly, let's talk supplies and project setup. First, here are the supplies we will be playing with today. A large canvas or poster board or other sturdy paper. I would even throw in there some cardboard too. Washable tempera paint or regular tempera paint. A pencil. Jar lids inside rims to the mason jars. Large popsicle sticks or rulers. Cotton balls. Droppers. Small bowls. Low brim bowls or trays. Fly swatters. Tarp, drop cloth, shower curtain to cover your work area, and I would even add in probably you want some tongs as well, and I'll show you what those are soon. Today's project is messy. So let's all take a deep breath for a moment when we say messy. I know we all kind of take a gasp in. Don't worry. We've got some tactics for you to consider when you approach a messy project. These tactics will help you beat overwhelm or that anxiety that creeps in when the word paint is mentioned. We have found most overwhelm comes from feeling unprepared for an experience. Again, don't worry, we've got you covered. And the following information is going to help you feel prepared to take it all on. When you know a project will be messy, first, say yes to the mess. This is one of our favorite sayings because it's true. Once you say yes to the mess, what is, and what will be. Second, consider the following questions. Could we? And these are going to be things that you could do to address this mess. So could we do the project outdoors on the grass or other surface that's easily washable, like with a hose? Do the project in the bathtub, especially if you're at home. Or at a school setting, do the project in an empty baby pool or several baby pools. Change the scale of the project, make it smaller and work in miniature. Work on the floor and use tarps or drop cloths or like a magic carpet, as we like to call it in our classes. Now, here are some of our all-time best tactics for keeping the mess a focused and calm experience. Limit the number of materials available during the art session, meaning provide one material one at a time and remove those materials that are no longer being removed so that the focus stays on whatever the art material that you want the focus to be on. Introduce a new material when children become antsy. So if they start to move around a lot, you know that they're done with that material and they're ready for something new. They're ready for a transition. Dress for mess. Putting on an apron or a favorite pair of art clothing is a great indicator to children of what is about to happen. And keep a bucket of water and a towel and sponges or paper towels nearby for spills and messy hands. 2 words for you, baby wipes. Baby wipes have saved the day so many times. They are so fabulous to get paint out of your clothing, off of surfaces, to wipe down big spills. They are a lifesaver, and you can also get them in biodegradable forms, so you don't have to worry about the mess that they create. All right, you could also play soothing music as part of your background to kind of set a mood or a tone for the experience. And when considering your art supplies, use washable when appropriate. And this will lower your own blood pressure too. If you find good washable paints that you like, it will make it less anxiety-inducing when you hand them over to the children. Okay, we're ready to dive into the live demo. So the live demo is going to start now. You are going to receive a second video that includes our live demo session. And until that comes through, thanks so much for joining us here as part of this Kid Artlet series. We wanted to let you know at the end of this part here, we'll tell you the bonus, which is that all of our founders, which are the members of our Kid Artlet subscription box, the first members are called founders, and they're receiving a special discount code just for them that's going to give them a discount on the new Kid Artlet box subscription, which is going to be out live starting on April 17th, 2017. Look for that in your inbox soon, and because you're here part of this webinar, you get to be part of that as well. All right, your live demo is coming to you second, so we hope you enjoy that so much, and thanks again for joining us for our slide portion of our webinar. We'll see you soon.